Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Second Lieutenant Dexter Vinentang, and I'm your narrator for today's event. On behalf of the men and women of the 627th Civil Engineer Squadron, welcome to today's Change of Command and Change of Responsibility ceremony. A reminder that although this is an indoor event, all proper military customs and courtesies should be observed. The Change of Command ceremony has a rich military history dating back to the reign of Frederick the Great of Prussia during the 18th century. At that time, organizational flags were developed with color arrangements and symbols unique to each unit. To this flag and its commander, the soldiers of the unit would dedicate their loyalty and trust. When a change of command was to take place, the flag was passed to the individual assuming command in front of the unit so all could witness the new leader assuming their official position. The colors are the commander's symbol of authority, representing the responsibilities to the organization and reside wherever the commander resides. Included in today's event, we will also have a change of responsibility ceremony. This ceremony serves the function of rendering honors to the departing senior enlisted leader and providing official recognition of the transfer of responsibility to the incoming senior enlisted leader. The ceremony reinforces the authority of non-commissioned officers in the Air Force and highlights their support to the chain of command. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of the official party, the presentation of the colors, the singing of the national anthem, and the invocation.
Present the colors. Stand by color. Cut. Forward. Hum. Forward. Hum. Foot. Present. Up.
By the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Don't say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
I invite you to pray with me if you like. Almighty God, we thank you for this day and for the men and women of the Civil Engineer Squadron, those who stand ready to build, to repair, to respond, and to lead with excellence. Today marks a day and a time of transition. As one commander's chapter comes to a close, another begins. We are grateful for the outgoing commander, whose leadership helped shape this team's mission success, resilience, and growth. May their legacy endure through every repaired runway, every improved facility, and every life strengthened under their care. We ask your blessing on the new incoming commander. Grant them clear vision, steady judgment, and a deep compassion for the people they now lead. May their time in command be marked by unity, innovation, and readiness for any challenge that comes their way. Lord, for every engineer, for every emergency manager, every EOD technician, and every airman in this squadron, bless the work of their hands. Whether they're responding to a disaster, planning for the future, or simply getting the job done. May they do it with pride, with purpose, and with excellence. Strengthen this squadron's bonds, shape their skills, and guide them forward in service to something much greater than themselves. We ask all of this in your holy name. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Nye. At this time, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please be seated. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce the official party for today's ceremony. The presiding official for today's ceremony, the Deputy Commander, Joint Base Lewis McChord, and Commander, 627th Air Base Group, Colonel Brandon H. Sikora, accompanied by his wife, Lindsay. Sir, we're going to do all the DVs first. Sorry. The outgoing commander, 627 Civil Engineer Squadron, and Deputy Director of Public Works, Joint Base Lewis McChord, Lieutenant Colonel John P. Leglowick, accompanied by his wife, Juliet, and his son, Cooper. The incoming commander, 627 Civil Engineer Squadron, Lieutenant Colonel Matthew J. Buscemi, accompanied by his wife Nicole, their children Spencer, Beckett, Charlotte, and Elizabeth, and his parents John and Pam. At this time, I would like to introduce the distinguished guests joining us for today's ceremony. Please hold applause until all guests have been introduced. Colonel Sergio Anaya, commander of the 62nd Airlift Wing, and his spouse Angela. Colonel Kent Park, commander of the Joint Base Garrison Command. Command Sergeant Major Kenny Hansen, Command Sergeant Major, Joint Base Garrison Lewis McChord. Colonel John Berger, Deputy Commander of the 62nd Airlift Wing, and his spouse, Uni. Chief Master Sergeant John Marquez, Senior Enlisted Leader of the Joint Base Garrison Lewis McChord, and Superintendent of the 627th Air Base Group, and his wife, Melanie. Mr. Richard Bain, Director of the Directorate of Public Works, Joint Base Lewis McChord. Colonel Michael Thompson, the Commander of the 62nd Maintenance Group. Chief Master Sergeant Derek Hirschfield, Senior Enlisted Leader of the 62nd Maintenance Group. Colonel Karen Bowman, Commander of the 62nd Medical Squadron. The outgoing Senior Enlisted Leader, Chief Master Sergeant Adam Brady of the 627th Civil Engineer Squadron, and his wife, Courtney, and son, Daniel, and daughter, Jenna. The incoming Senior Enlisted Leader, Senior Master Sergeant Robert P. Zelaya of the 627th Civil Engineer Squadron, and his wife, Elena, and their children, Lorenzo, Jasleen, Gianna, as well as his parents, Roberto and Maria. And finally, we would also like to extend a welcome to all Joint Base leaders, squadron commanders, chiefs, senior enlisted leaders, first sergeants, members of the 627th Civil Engineer Squadron, along with family members and friends. On behalf of the 627th Civil Engineer Squadron, thank you all for joining today. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming to the stage the commander of the 627th Air Base Group, Colonel Brandon H. Sikora.
Hey, good morning. Obviously, I was excited to see Lego and Goat go. I was so excited I wanted to run up here quickly and just get it started. No, I'm kidding. And then I literally had flashbacks because I told Matt 10 years ago, almost to the day, I had my change of command in my first squadron. And as Lindsay can attest, I lost my speech, and I'm literally up there on the stage doing one of these. So it was, flashbacks were coming to me. But nevertheless, I digress for this momentous occasion. Major Waiters, please put the formation at ease. So, hey, good morning. And how about this beautiful morning that we're blessed with here at McCord Field and the Pacific Northwest. Welcome to a few guests here to this change of command and change of responsibility. So buckle up. We got 4 decorations. We got all sorts of stuff. So buckle up. It's going to be a good one. And you'll see in my remarks, I'm not going to hit on a lot of the stuff that is in the decorations because that'll speak for itself. I really want to talk about more of the intrinsic kind of down and in stuff that this amazing command team did. And with that being said, this is a bittersweet day where you honor and say thanks to this command team, Lieutenant Colonel John Lego Legoic and his senior enlisted leader, his wingman, now Chief Master Sergeant Adam the Goat Brady, as they depart. But we also welcome an awesome command team, Lieutenant Colonel Matt, not Steve, Buscemi, and Senior Master Sergeant Robert, I think the big Z, Zaya. So yeah, that's for you, shirt, wherever you're out. There you are, I see you. So I'll let them wrestle that out later. But also a big welcome to all the folks that are here with us. Colonel and I, thank you so much. I know the civil engineers have a fond place in your heart because you have seen the great work this command team's done over the last 2 years. So thank you for being here today. Colonel Park, you the same, obviously with this command team, but also with the DPW director. Thank you so much for your attendance. JB, of course, always thank you so much for being the DCOM. I know you do a lot of stuff with this team behind the scenes and take care of business. Obviously, Chief Marquez, my wingman, his beautiful wife, Milani, thank you for being here. Chaplain Nye, and Senior Airman Watts. How about a round of applause for that beautiful rendition of the national anthem? I'm just going to keep going. So, Mr. Bain, thank you for being here, Director of DPW. Lieutenant Colonel Hassel, Chris, thanks for coming out. Mr. Holt, thank you, Mark, for sure. Colonel Thompson, Colonel Bowman, thank you for representing, going along, hit some folks there. We'll keep going. Bull, thank you for being here. John Tobin back there, big fan of the civil engineers. Let me see. Some DPW folks back there, thank you so much. Thank you for fellow commanders, and thank you for all the folks that are sitting over here. Now let me get to the real important people up here in the front. Yes, Lindsay, thank you for coming to this mandatory event. Appreciate that. Lego's much better half, Juliet, and my favorite Ninja Warrior, Cooper. We'll miss y'all for sure. Moving down, our soon-to-be neighbors for at least a couple weeks. Matt's better half, you'll see a theme here. Nicole, their beautiful children, Spencer, Beckett, and twins, Charlotte and Elizabeth, looking beautiful as ever. Also, Matt's parents came all the way in from the Outer Banks of North Carolina, John and Pam. Thank you so much. Behind them, Goat's better half and my fellow West Texan, Courtney, their beautiful children, awesome baseball player, soccer player, Daniel and Jenna. And then last but certainly not least, Z's better half, Alana, their children, Lorenzo, Jasleen, and Gianna. Z's parents that came in from Oakland, Roberto and Maria. Thank you so much for being here. And how about a big round of applause for those families, because without their wavering support and countless sacrifices, these outstanding leaders that we're honoring today would not be here. And to the team that we're really recognizing today, because as we know, no command team success is anything without their formation. So to the 627th Civil Engineers, thank you so very much for looking sharp back there and delivering every day. You truly lead the way. Continuing on the thanks, we'll hit the protocol team, Miss Taff, Tech Sergeant V, they're still back there working it. Thank you so much. The MC over here, Lieutenant Dexter VT, great job. Chaplain Nye, you were already forecasting. Lego doesn't have EOD and fire in this formation, but he'll have them in the next one, so good on you. We already gave a round of applause to Watts, and then our staff, proffer, Staff Sergeant Spice. Thank you so much, looking sharp as always. So, to the business at hand. This is the first of 3 ABG changes of command in the next 72 hours, signaling a change of the guard across the ABG. Because we all know squadron commanders, squadron command teams are truly the ones that get the work done. Me and Chief Marquez just get to admire that. Not only do they get the work done, but it seems like they've had a little bit of fun and got along pretty well along the way. That's not always easy, but as I mentored them, never let the issue be bigger than the relationship. And you've done that well to this command team. And each of these changes of command will have a common theme, not only recognizing the better halves of these commanders and senior enlisted leaders, but also the steadfast commander in these dynamic times, and in this case, a wise and determined senior enlisted leader, leading this formation through dynamic times, not only in our nation and our world, but also here at JBLM. And each commander led in their own unique way, and their forces creating unique opportunities to not only enhance the squadron's roles and responsibilities, but also make an impact across JBLM and the wider world. As you know, these dynamic times require a steady hand to lead, and also a leader ready to transform, ready to take the next step. Uniquely situated as the commander of the 627th Civil Engineer Squadron and the Deputy Director of DPW, Lego astutely led his unit with a steady hand, focusing on readiness, communication, and Fire Station 105, while also taking advantage of my commander's mission type orders to proceed until apprehended, enhancing his squadron and transforming the unit's relationship with DPW. To readiness, he owned Ready Airman training, plus some. To the training and the growth of the South 40 with Spec Ops, Ops 4 out there, the trainers, and obviously punctuated with the deployment and bear-based bed down at Silver Flag in Guam. Communication, the bullsheet, anonymous feedback, holiday and birthday cards. Your communication prowess even earned recognition during the AMC UEI. To Fire Station 105, hosting more CODELs and staffers and DVs than one could count, but you were obviously effective, as we can now have 2 viable paths to realize a new fire station here at McCord Field. Proceed until apprehended. We got off to a rough start with the landscaping of Building 100, when then Senior Master Sergeant Brady became the GOAT. Not for being the greatest of all time, like the quarterback Tom Brady, but for his mad landscaping skills, like a goat, the animal, the one he does yoga with. Or then, the demo of the decrepit McCord Playground. Tough times, but as they say, tough times don't last, tough people do, and this command team did just that. You quickly found your footing, allowing you to get shit done and grow airmen. Speaking of growing airmen, embedded at MFLAC in his squadron to the envy of the MXG, gained a full-time first sergeant, countless awards, promotion, including growing his SCL to a chief and proving engineers truly lead the way. CE corrals with DPW teammates and epic holiday parties, and then maybe even gaining the favor back with MXG by converting Lieutenant Hal to a maintenance officer. An enlisted to commissioned officer, and a defender to a plumber. I don't know which one's more impressive. But also gaining a second airman dorm leader. I think actually Chief Master Sergeant Brady actually set up a table in the back and accepting applications for that ADL. Is that true? You're gonna be back there after the ceremony? Of course he is. Great work to build and enhance your squadron and grow airmen. Meaningful work, that is, from the summit to Range 3, now Staples Range, to tree removal, to restore CAT ILS, and now use LIDAR to get ahead of the curve. To the CG's office, to the Airlift Wing Commander's office. I feel left out. Maybe Matt can take care of my office, but nevertheless, you did take care of me with hard work, getting the Hall of Titans set up, boom, what an impact. DFAC, APS barrier, you name it, you've done it. You've left an impact across the entire installation. I'm so proud of you. Thank you to you and GOAT for leading the engineers, for digging in with DPW during hard times and making things better wherever you're at. You truly did grow airmen and get shit done. And with that, despite almost getting apprehended there at the beginning, you absolutely rocked it. Your legacies will echo the halls of the Civil Engineer Squadron and DPW for years to come. Malmstrom and the engineers of the 341st Civil Engineer Squadron are lucky to have you, Juliet, and Cooper join the Big Sky Engineers. The engineers out in Vegas are lucky to have the GOAT, Courtney, Daniel, and Jenna join them and lead the engineers on the other side of the mountain. I'm confident both of you will continue to get shit done and grow airmen. We also welcome an outstanding command team. Lieutenant Colonel Matt Bushimi coming straight in from the Air Staff. I'm sure he's excited no longer to be the GEO's exec. Get back to his roots of readiness and getting it done. You can see that air assault tab he has there, some credibility with the Army. He did that on his own dime, so that I know that'll curry favor, but he also with some horse time as well. He knows about readiness. He knows about leading. That also goes hand in hand with Sergeant Z coming in from Guam Silver Flag site, growing airmen, getting ready for that near competitor fight. And both their beautiful families coming out here to join us at JBLM. Simply said, both command teams continue to lead the way. All right, let's recognize LEGO. Here we go.
Thank you, Colonel Scora. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand as Colonel Sikora presents the Meritorious Service Medal to Lieutenant Colonel LeGlowick and Chief Master Sergeant Brady. Attention to orders. Lieutenant Colonel John LeGlowick distinguished himself by meritorious service as commander of the 627th Civil Engineer Squadron, 627th Air Base Group, Joint Base Lewis McChord, Washington. During this period, Lieutenant Colonel LeGlowick also served as Deputy Director, Director of Public Works, leading 620 Air Force and Army personnel and sustaining the Department of Defense's largest joint base, comprising 11.7 thousand facilities, 3 airfields, and an area over half the size of Rhode Island, totaling $24.9 billion of infrastructure. Always out front, he led his teams through XAB's first deployment, delivered over 175 million pounds in Gaza recovery aid, sunsetted a $3.1 billion Africa command base in Niger, and sustained a mission-ready airman status of 98%, the best engineer unit in Air Mobility Command. Moreover, he led the Army through the base's housing crisis by laying the foundation for 212 homes to be constructed 2 years ahead of schedule and rectified a 912-home brown water congressional inquiry. Finally, he helped lead his engineers to win awards at all echelons, such as the Air Force Design Award, 8 Air Mobility Command Awards, and 28 Group and Wing Awards, a best since joint basing. The singularly distinctive accomplishments of Lieutenant Colonel LeGlowick reflect great credit upon himself and the United States Air Force. Chief Master Sergeant Adam Brady distinguished himself by meritorious service as Senior Enlisted Leader, 627th Civil Engineer Squadron, 627th Air Base Group, Joint Base Lewis McChord, Washington. During this period, Chief Brady also served as Senior Enlisted Leader, Director of Public Works, leading 620 Air Force and Army personnel and sustaining the Department of Defense's largest joint base, comprising 11.7 thousand facilities, 3 airfields, and an area over half the size of Rhode Island, totaling $24.9 billion. Additionally, Chief Brady led his teams through the XAB's first deployment, delivered over 175 million pounds in recovery aid to Gaza, sunsetted a $3.1 billion Africa command base in Niger, and sustained a mission-ready airman status of 98%. The best civil engineer unit in Air Mobility Command. Moreover, he led the Army through the base's housing crisis by laying the foundation for 212 homes to be constructed 2 years ahead of schedule and rectified a 912-home brown water congressional inquiry. Finally, Chief Brady inspired his engineers to win awards at all echelons, to include 1 service level, 8 at Air Mobility Command, and 28 in the Group and Wing, a unit best in joint basing. The singularly distinctive accomplishments of Chief Brady reflect great credit upon himself and the United States Air Force. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the presentation of the Army Commendation Medal from Colonel Kent W. Park. For exceptionally meritorious achievements while serving as the Deputy Director of Public Works, Joint Base Lewis-McChord, Washington, from June 2023 to June 2025, Lieutenant Colonel LeGlowick was critical to the garrison team. His efforts directly improved the quality of life of 295,000 service members and families and improved mission readiness across Joint Base Lewis-McChord and tenant units. His actions are in keeping with the finest traditions of military service and reflect great credit upon himself, the 627th Air Base Group, Joint Base Lewis-McChord Garrison, and the United States Army. For exceptionally meritorious achievements while serving as the senior enlisted leader of the Directorate of Public Works on Joint Base Lewis-McChord, Washington from March 2022 to June 2025, Chief Master Sergeant Brady was critical to the garrison team. His efforts directly improved the quality of life of 295,000 service members and families and improved mission readiness across Joint Base Lewis-McChord and tenant units. His actions are in keeping with the finest traditions of military service and reflect great credit upon himself, the 627th Air Base Group, Joint Base Lewis-McChord Garrison, and the United States Army. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. It is my honor to introduce the commander of the 627th Civil Engineer Squadron, Lieutenant Colonel John P. LeGlowick.
All right, so I know there's a lot going in the world right now. The world's greatest Air Force just waxed Iran. So just a moment of silence for those downrange participating in the fight, those contributing to the fight right now. And we have a lot of engineers gone. We have a lot of service members gone across all forces. So just a quick moment of silence for them, and then I'll try to be a little bit more positive. Thank you. All right, I'm going to try to add some levity now. This is a celebration for me and for you, Matt, and I love it that the families already get involved. I was worried when Cooper was over there. He was already getting adopted by the chief, but you switched aisles and you're back with Mom, so we can proceed as planned. Good morning, everyone. I've seen and listened to a change of commands. 'Tis the season, so saying the right thing without the audience hating me. I know the clocks have started. I know there's a few folks with bets on the line, so I'm gonna try to be quick while still acknowledging the folks that matter. Throughout all my perseverating up to this point, I realized that the outgoing commander for a change of command is a lot like being the best man at a wedding. So hear me out. I've thought this through, and it's not going to take forever. First, like the best man, you're dressed a little bit better than you normally would be, and I think suffice to say, us engineers, we clean up pretty well when we have to, but it's not very common. So first point, to be like a best man. Second, you're addressing an audience that feels like family. Through our ups, through our downs, through our shared misery and our shared joys, you know these folks, or at least most of them, and even the new additions, you feel like you've learned so much about them already. So my second point for the best man. And then last, to someone whom you hold in high regard and great respect, that's you, Matt, you're giving them a new mantle of responsibility, you're giving them a new obligation, and you're wedding them to a new unit, a new experience, while giving them all the best of luck and truly the best of intentions. So I gotta say, Nicole, Spencer, Beckett, Charlotte, Elizabeth, welcome to the Pacific Northwest. You're inheriting a world-class community, world-class neighborhood, a world-class team, some wonderful engineers, partners across the Joint Base, 62nd, the ABG, and in turn, you all are receiving a fantastic, very well, very strong, vetted leader that's going to do you very proud. So, round of applause for what's about to go down. All right, so like any best man, there are the obligatory thank yous that I got to give out. Thanks to the leadership for hiring me and not firing me. Thanks to our partners who make us a stronger team. Thanks to those that made this event happen today. I know this is a pain. The grader doesn't park itself. Lieutenant VT, I know you're going to pass on all the lessons learned to Lieutenant Alt when he has to do the big bosses that are probably bigger, grander, greater than this one. I really, really appreciate that. Thanks to the audience for gathering here. This is your time. You're giving it to us. Really means a lot. Thanks to the engineers who perform miracles on a daily basis. And I owe you a miracle. Please put the formation at ease. And then it's always a classy move to hit the front row. So I had to adjust fire as I saw who was here and who wasn't. But I'm going to start with you, Colonel Park. They broke the mold when they made you a Harvard-educated infantryman that goes around and does selfies and gives out drink cards. I grew up an Army brat, and they completely readjusted my reference, my frame for how positive and engaging and how you are the glue that keeps this Joint Base together. I know you're going to have a ceremony soon, but I do appreciate everything you've done, all the grace you've given us, as the boss would say. And Joint Base is not easy. I know when you went through your charm school, they said, "Where are you going?" You said Joint Base Lewis McChord, and there was a deep sigh. And they said, "We'll talk after. We got a lot to go over. You got a big job ahead of you." I know you're about to off-ramp, but thank you so much. Really appreciate everything you've done. Colonel Lanaya, so I know you got your sayings, right? No bueno and nothing burgers. I remember the first time we ever met, I had no idea who you are. You were just a colonel in a flight suit. I was at the Candlewood, and I had my little dog Bear, and we were riding the elevator, and I could tell you had a lot on your mind. Little did I know you were about to become that wing commander and assume that huge role of responsibility. You were enjoying your time at the Candlewood as you transition homes, as you transition jobs. I just have to say, I said it at your going away, best wing commander I've ever had. Thank you so much for everything. You took care of the airmen. Doesn't matter if it was an engineer, doesn't matter if it was a DPW employee. You were always there looking out for mission and for airmen. I couldn't ask for more. Every ask you've had has been extremely reasonable. And from combat support, Bubba, that's all I ask for, is just be logical, be reasonable, we'll get it done. So thank you so much, sir. Colonel Berger, you showed me the joys of F1 racing. I got to appreciate the 6 a.m. mimosas and Bloody Marys. And I gotta say, a lot of folks here are neighbors. Your family's a joy. And I know, Uni, Leo, I know a huge part of that joy is because of the husband and the father before us today. You do a fantastic job, sir. Really appreciate it. Seen you out there, kicking the soccer ball around in the cul-de-sac and tennis, and just, you would never know in a million years that was the DCOM. You were just relatable, and you're just a great dude. Really appreciate it, sir, and it's meant so much to me. Colonel Sikora, I know in our feedback, I already told you this, I was scared of working for you. He's a crucible. He's CE royalty, and I knew it would be a test. Not just command, but when you work for an engineer, when you work for somebody who knows your craft, it's a little nerve-wracking because it's not smoke and mirrors. You're not going to trick them. You're not going to run new things by them because we've been doing it this way since 1947. Some adjustments, but we're still fixing runways and we're still growing airmen and getting things done. So I got to say, despite all my fears, I did my best to overcome them. I did my best to meet your intent and get at what you wanted. And in the end, I just really got to thank you for being an amazing boss, giving us the latitude to run, and I say us because it was just me sitting in the meeting and then going to the team and saying, here's what we got to get done, and they made it happen. So I was just an intermediary that represents the guide with the chief there. So thank you so much for that, sir. Chief. So I know you're our culture king. I know some tables didn't survive your box jumps, but I gotta say, you've owned the culture, really appreciate it. The ABG has grown so much in 2 years. yeah, it's tough sometimes doing Titan PT and low crawling and climbing walls and defenders putting us through the ringer and all the things, but it made us stronger, it made us better, and I think we truly feel like we have an identity now, and that's because of the strides you made. So thank you so much, really appreciate it. A few impromptu ones, but Mr. Bain, DPW team, I know I had to migrate my 20 minutes over to the second office. We had some good times, we had some bad times. I gotta say, every day is Joint Base Appreciation Day. It's hard. It's hard. It doesn't matter what lens you look at it through, it's a joint base, and your job, the customers are merciless. They're gonna constantly remind you, you owe me things, you gotta get things done. It's hard. It's hard to be a proud professional and still maintain your cool. I don't know how you all unwind at the end of the day and how you let it go and then resume and take on that brunt of responsibility. But whatever you're doing, it's working, so just keep it up. Thank you so much for being a great partner. And then the two quick audibles of the other royalty in the room. Colonel Thompson, thanks for letting Preston be a part of our lives. He is a joy. As a father, you know, you worry about the friends your kids have. And the amount of times that they, our little 20-pound dog named Bear, apparently he's an enemy in the house. So him and Preston make their forts and set up their Star Wars, and they will play for hours. And it's not watching TV, it's not video games, it's kids being kids the way that as parents we envision it. Love it, thank you so much. Just opening your family to our family, it means a lot. And again, sometimes it's nice to have a neighbor that's able to break down those walls and say, you know, yeah, okay, yeah, you have to salute me and you have to do all the things, but I'm also a father too, and just having a great time, our kids growing and learning together. So thank you for that. And Colonel Bowman, thank you so much for everything. We've come a long way as far as recognizing the medical needs of our engineers, making sure that it's properly documented so they can continue to do their job. And if they can't do their job, we have the right reason why, and we make sure that they're mission effective and go downrange again. Your medical team has been fantastic. I know McCord Clinic can get inundated with a lot of distractions, but thank you for always letting our engineers go to the front of the queue. Really, really means a lot. And then the chief. Chief, I owe you so much. 2 years ago, you were not a chief. One of my goals was to get you there, and the coolest part about having a goal like that is I did not get you there, you got yourself there. You did it on your own, you were receptive to feedback, you grew airmen, you made things happen, and you get to go on to do better, greater, brighter things. One thing I'm really looking forward to is now soon that the chain of command will be kind of broken. I can consider you a friend now, and not just a confidant, and not just the SCL and the chief and the person I leaned against. So really appreciate that. And we got each other's personal numbers. The phones are gone. We can commiserate. We can talk about all of life's interesting things it throws at us. I'm sure we'll have our own war stories the next job. Please, you know, my line is always available. And, you know, your family has been amazing. Loved having dinner with them. Loved connecting with them. You have a wonderful, wonderful family, which is reflective of not only being a great leader, but a great husband and father. So that goes a long way. Thank you for everything. And then to the most important people in my life. Juliet, you're my everything. You keep me grounded. I come home, I know I can talk a lot of shop. I know you say put the phone down, be present. But as a wonderful wife and a true social worker, you're still helping out even folks that aren't veteran status yet. So thank you so much. You're my everything. You say, hey, John, if you wanna be a general, act like one, do what a general should do. So I try to keep that in mind. I try to do the right things and make the family proud and take care of the airmen and get things done. And then Cooper, I know it's tough. I know we're coming up on 39 minutes, so we're almost done. You remind me what it's like and the importance of being a kid. Doesn't matter if it's Legos or karate or Star Wars. I often should ask myself, what would Cooper do? And sometimes the mind of a 6-year-old is better than the mind of a 41-year-old, and it helps keep me grounded, gives me my sanity, it makes me smile a little bit more. Joy is important in life. So 2 quick gifts for you all. Spice, thank you so much. So the hoodie is from Yoked. Yoked is kind of a beer garden up north of Gig Harbor. We love it. We came from Germany, and it's something that always lets us connect. We can bring the dog. There's a playground for the kids to go crazy. and we get to have a few beverages and some decent food and just connect with the friends and family we hold so dear in the Pacific Northwest. And then Cooper, Star Wars. I know you're a Star Wars fiend now, partially thanks to Preston, but that's okay. May the Force be with you on this move. We won't be able to probably build it tonight or in the car, but we'll build it when we get to Montana. I know you have all kinds of a collection growing, and boy, that's going to be a fun one to pick up when the movers are done handling it. But again, I love you guys so much. Just want to let y'all know I love this place. I love this job. I'm going to miss it dearly. I have 10 things that I learned that are going to make Joint Base Lewis McChord unforgettable to me. Some of them are inside jokes. I'll try to explain them to you all, and then I will exit stage left. So, number 10, we have survived brown water and black bears in the same week. That's two pretty big things, and they kind of intersected in the same week. Yes, we all know we have a brown water problem. Sometimes it's the bathtub water, sometimes it's the whites in your laundry, and you really know you have a brown water problem when your boss down the street says, "What's going on here, and how do we fix it?" We've made huge strides. We've come a long way. American Water's been a great partner in helping us get that done. But then, just as we think we're over the hill, the black bears come. You see the signage by the golf course. We see them down at the South 40. There's a mama and her cubs, and you don't want to get between those two. So this place is full of life and wonder and brown water and black bears. But that's my number 10. Number 9, cell phone reception has significantly improved here. I know when I first moved here, lifelong Verizon customer, 20-something years. I switched to T-Mobile about day 2 because we had a huge problem with cell phone reception, this big, beautiful joint base with all these trees, and we couldn't talk to each other. So Herculean effort by the team, a lot of tersely worded emails by our senior leadership, but we got it done, and now my phone works anywhere on the base. I'm very thankful for that. I don't know how much of that I controlled, but I'm glad to be a benefactor of it. Number 8, AFES is a very hungry customer. I have never been at an installation where AFES wielded so much clout. If the Starbucks is down, you would think that the runway just closed. The airmen are there, the DPW bubbas are there, we're making it happen. Even if they don't pay the utility bills, we still make sure that you all get your fresh salads and your Popeyes and your Domino's and all the things to make the warfighter happy. But AFES is a very hungry customer. Number 7, our force is more stressed than ever before, but leaders do care, and Colonel and I think the summit is a testament to that. We were able to get an M flag, we were able to get a permanent first sergeant. We've done a lot to make sure that our airmen are right in the heads and the hearts and the spirits so they can go down range and do the things the greatest Air Force in the world expects of them. I'm really, really glad that we finally acknowledged that being an issue. Again, I've grown a lot. Juliet's a social worker, and she always reminds me of emotional intelligence and what it takes. It's a lot more than just passing your PT test. Folks need help. They're struggling. Don't let them suffer in silence. And I love the fact that Team Accord and the folks here at JBLM, they've taken that to heart, and they've made it a point to help all of us, because no one is exclusive of this. Number 6, I use this quote all the time, way before the movie came out. Fear is the mind killer. It's okay to do new things. When I first got here, there was a lot of hesitation about what we could do here internally in the squadron. There was a lot of hesitation about what readiness meant. And I gotta say, 2 years later, completely transformed. Ariel and team, I've told you all this. Use this as an example of the things you can do. The work at Range 3, the DFAC, the summit, all the little things, even Operation Alpaca. Great job. Keep it up. Don't worry about failure. Usually, when we screw up, what do? We keep doing it until we get it right. You're not going to get fired over it. If it's not illegal, unethical, or immoral, press, as the boss says, proceed until apprehended. That saying scares me, but, because I got apprehended. But please, just keep doing great things. Grow airmen, get things done. You're not wrong for it. Number 5, the summers are magical, but the long darks and the big rains are where the best of attitudes emerge. Right now, this place is beautiful. It's easy, it's sunny, the weather's right, but the other 9 months out of the year, it can be trying. Get ready for it. Take your vitamin D, but you'll see that some of the best personalities shine because they don't let that get them down. They push forward, they figure it out, and the team is stronger for it. And those are the ones that truly matter in our journey here at JBLM. Number 4, this place can feel like a playground, but you do run the risk of getting in trouble for doing things too quickly here. So a little bit of scar tissue on that one, but I gotta say that if your heart's in the right spot and you want things to happen, do them. Even if something is a result of we're gonna peel back the onion and figure out what you did wrong or did right, stick with your convictions because you know you did the right thing. That's important in all things in life. This uniform comes off one day for all of us, some sooner than others, and that's okay. Have your convictions, stick with what you believe in, and you can't go wrong because you're the one that goes to sleep well at night. Number 3, never forget the amazing individuals that have passed during our time here. We know we lost Mr. Staples. We've lost a lot of great teammates, DPW employees. I lost my best friend 6 months into command. Had to go to his funeral and watch him be buried at the Air Force Academy. Don't forget why we serve and the folks that are our support network. They are so strong and they matter so much. So make sure you're there for them in their time of need. And yes, this is not a job. This is a calling. This is a career. And thank you for your service. But also remember that other folks are dragged into it as collateral damage, and sometimes they need you to step away and be there for them. Number 2, the name Unity Bridge should serve as a strong reminder about the importance of being joint. As I told our DPW teammates, as Colonel Park can attest to, this is a hard place. Joint is tough. It is not the BRAC solution we thought it was, but there should be milestones, there should be reminders on this installation and all joint installations of why we work together and the importance of being good partners. And then number 1, JBLM is one of the best kept secrets in the military, and I think we're all very lucky to be a part of it. This is the number 2 requested Air Force location for our airmen when they come out of BMT. People want to be here. We got the World Cup coming up. We've got SeaTac, which will take you anywhere in the world. We've got wonderful summers. We've got things you can do in the winter if you don't mind a little bit of darkness. There is so much to offer in the Pacific Northwest. Yeah, okay, restaurants are a little pricey, life's a little expensive, but there's a trade-off there, and I think that's the quality of life this place provides. This base specifically is amazing. So embrace it, enjoy your time. I guarantee you when you leave here, you're gonna think fondly of JBLM. So while you're here, please appreciate it. So with that, we've come a long way. Rest assured, Colonel Buscemi, Senior Zalea, you guys are gonna crush it. I know you're an amazing team, and we're glad to have great folks to fill in our footsteps and continue our tradition in the 627 Civil Engineer Squadron. So with that, as we drive east to Big Sky Country, I'm gonna miss you all. And remember, our job here, at least for the next couple of minutes, is to grow airmen and get things done. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel Leglowick. The 627 Civil Engineer Squadron will now render a final salute to Lieutenant Colonel Leglowick. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the change of command ceremony with change of responsibility. Attention to orders. By order of the Secretary of the Air Force and under the provisions of Air Force Instruction 51604, Lieutenant Colonel John P. Leglowick relinquishes command, and Lieutenant Colonel Matthew J. Buscemi is appointed commander of the 627th Civil Engineer Squadron, McCord Field, Joint Base Lewis-McChord, Washington, under Special Order 2306, effective June 23, 2025. Chief Master Sergeant Brady hereby relinquishes his duties as Senior Enlisted Leader, and Senior Master Sergeant Zelaya assumes the duties and responsibilities of Senior Enlisted Leader of the 627th Civil Engineer Squadron. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. The 627 Civil Engineer Squadron will now render their first salute to Lieutenant Colonel Buscemi. On behalf of Colonel Sikora, it is my pleasure to introduce the newest 627 Civil Engineer Squadron Commander, Lieutenant Colonel Buscemi.
Good afternoon, or good morning, everybody. Colonel Naya, Colonel Park, to the group commanders, my fellow squadron commanders, chiefs, first sergeants, family and friends, and the men and women of the 627th Civil Engineer Squadron. Thank you all for being here today and helping celebrate Lego and everything he's done and celebrate my family coming in. I'm so proud and humbled to stand before you today as the commander of the 627th Civil Engineer Squadron. And I'll start with the words that no matter how hard I try, I will not say enough during my time here. Thank you to all of you. First, to my family, Nicole, Spencer, Beckett, Charlotte, and Elizabeth, you guys are my rock. Thank you for moving across the country with me, and thank you for the tremendous support and encouragement you've given me throughout the years. And there's a big reason why I'm standing here today. And I cannot wait to begin our next chapter here together in the Pacific Northwest. Thank you also to my mom and dad for making the long flight all the way across the country to be here. It's always great to have you guys come see us. You all will soon learn, if you haven't already, by my daughter coming up here, we take a family approach to command. You'll see Nicole and I and the kids active out at events and in the community. And please, if you see us, come introduce us to your family. We want to get to know all of you as we build this family here in this community. Colonel Sikora, I'm especially grateful to you, sir, for your trust and confidence in giving me the opportunity to lead this squadron. And over the course of the next 2 years, I promise to aim my efforts center mass at taking care of our airmen and executing the mission. And it's that mission and the strategic importance of this installation that resonates deeply with me. As our nation prepares for the next great conflict, I know this installation will play a key role in deterring, or when necessary, defeating our adversaries. Whether it's the lethal airman and credible airlift capability delivered by the 62nd, or the First Corps' mission to deploy, fight, and win decisively in any environment, this installation and this squadron stand ready to answer our nation's call at a moment's notice. So I cannot wait to get started to build upon the success of the great commanders and all the airmen and soldiers at Joint Base Lewis McChord who have come before us. Lego, I thought you were going to be a tough act to follow, and now I'm definitely certain you're going to be an extremely tough act to follow. I thank you so much to you and Juliet and Cooper for turning over such a world-class team, for welcoming us to this base and getting our lives started here. Your kindness and graciousness will never be forgotten, and I hope you enjoy Great Falls and everything the 341st has to offer. To the airmen of the 627th Civil Engineer Squadron, the road ahead will not be easy. Some of the challenges we will face together have not yet been imagined. And as long as we remain focused on the mission and each other, I know we will succeed because of you and your families. You are our most valuable resource and drive mission success. Over the next 2 years, I promise you my best day in and day out, and I look forward to serving with each and every one of you. To the new comrades from across the Joint Base, the leaders in our community, DPW, and everybody in the Army, it'll be an honor to continue to cultivate the great partnerships that already exist and to get to know you over these next 2 years. Finally, my sincere thanks to Lieutenant VT and the entire team that put this ceremony together, and for each and every airman that played a role in this first-class event. In closing, thank you again for being here today, and I can already tell what a special place this is, and we look forward to getting to know each and every one of you and experience life here firsthand. Thank you.
Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel Buscemi. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the singing of the Air Force song and remain standing for the departure of the official party. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our change of command ceremony. You are all invited to a reception at the North.